Are the top stories. Thank you for staying with us. President Tinubu's government begins appointment process for new Accountant General permanent secretaries. INEC advises suspended Adamawa Rec Hudu Yunusa Ari to go to court to prove innocence. APC dismisses Obasanjo Articles meeting as Peter Obi and NPP welcome alliance. Daniel Bwala discloses awareness of Nigerian suffering, however, discloses government working for them. And residents raise alarm as money doublers invade Abuja community. Details now. Thank you for staying with us. The federal government has initiated the process of appointing a new Accountant General of the Federation and 2 federal permanent secretaries following approval from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This was disclosed just on Monday night in Abuja by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Watson-Jack, in a statement issued by Mrs. Eno Olutu, Director of Information and Public Relations in her office. To ensure the selection of qualified, credible and competent individuals, Watson-Jack stated that the appointment process will follow a structured, multi-tiered evaluation system as approved by the President, reaffirming the government's commitment to a transparent and merit-driven selection process. She explained that the 2 vacant permanent secretary positions resulted from the recent retirement of a permanent secretary from Oyo State and an impending vacancy in the Northwest Geopolitical Zone. Additionally, the position of Accountant General of the Federation will become vacant upon the retirement of the incumbent in March 2025. In December 2024, President Tinubu directed the current AGF, Dr. Oluwatosin Sakirat Madeyi, to continue in office until March 7, 2025, in what appeared to be a policy reversal. This decision followed controversy surrounding the announcement of Shamsuddin Babatunde Ogunjimi as the new AGF, which led to tension within the office of the Accountant General of the Federation in Abuja. Ogunjimi's appointment was initially announced by presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga on December 10, 2024, following Dr. Madeyi's pre-retirement leave, which commenced on December 7. However, the office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation later instructed Dr. Madeyi to reverse her pre-retirement leave and remain in office until March 2025. Now, in a very recent development, the Independent National Electoral Commission has responded to the suspended Resident Electoral Commissioner, or rather sacked Resident Electoral Commissioner of Adamawa State, Hudu Yunusa Ari, to prove his innocence in court rather than through public statements. The Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Rotimi Oyekomi, made this statement in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria on Monday in Abuja. Oyekomi stated that now that Yunusa Ari has returned to the country, he should take the opportunity to defend himself legally regarding his alleged role in electoral irregularities during the 2023 Adamawa governorship election. Yunusa Ari faces a 6-count charge related to unlawful actions in the March 18, 2023 election. He was suspended in April 2023 by former President Muhammadu Buhari after he prematurely declared Aishatu Dahiru Binani of the All Progressives Congress the winner while collation was still ongoing. INEC immediately nullified the declaration, summoned Yunusa Ari to its headquarters in Abuja, and subsequently suspended him. At a news conference in Bauchi State on Saturday, Yunusa Ari criticized his suspension, claiming he was not given a fair hearing and insisting that Binani won the election. Reacting to Yunusa Ari's claims, Oyekomi dismissed them as nothing new, urging him to present his defense in court instead of through media engagements. Yunusa Ari previously filed a suit at the Federal High Court in Abuja in February 2024, seeking protection from arrest, detention or prosecution. However, Justice James Omotosho dismissed the case, ruling that there were no legal grounds to grant him immunity from prosecution. Additionally, in January 2025, Yunusa Ari pleaded with the Adamawa High Court to adjourn the case against him indefinitely. Recently, the Senate approved President Bola Tinubu's request to dismiss Yunusa Ari alongside the Rex of Abia and Sokoto states over allegations of misconduct. At his Belgian news conference, Yunusa Ari stated that he had made several attempts to explain his actions to INEC through letters, but he claimed that pressure was mounted on officials to declare Ahmadu Fintiri of the People's Democratic Party as the winner. Now, the ruling All Progressives Congress has dismissed concerns over a potential alliance between former President Olusegun Obasanjo and the 2023 People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, stating that it poses no threat to President Bola Tinubu's re-election bid in 2027. The APC's National Secretary, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, made the statement in an interview very recently while reacting to a meeting between Obasanjo and Atiku, which took place on Monday in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Atiku, accompanied by a high-profile delegation, including former Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal, former Cross River State Governor Senator Leo Imoke, and other political figures, arrived at Obasanjo's residence within the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library at 12:37 p.m., where they were received by elder statesman Otumba Oyewole Fashawe. While details of the meeting remains unclear, speculation suggests it may be linked to Atiku's potential 2027 presidential ambition. However, Atiku downplayed the rumor, stating, and I quote, "I'm here on a courtesy call. I'm not here to talk politics." Despite this, sources privy to the discussions confirmed that the meeting was part of a broader plan to build a coalition for the 2027 elections. Also, he emphasized that the APC was more focused on governance and strategizing for the upcoming November 8th governorship elections in Anambra State. Now, the special advisor to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on policy communication, Daniel Bwala, has submitted that the government is aware Nigerians are suffering due to the policies introduced by the current administration. He, however, maintained that the pains are necessary and temporary in order to achieve greater results. Speaking today about the policy drive of the Tinubu administration, Bwala said through a Monitor television program that reforms embarked upon by the government are like pulling down a house to reconstruct it again, and urged the citizens to look beyond the current sufferings. He submitted that some of the reforms are already bearing results, while some will take longer time to yield result. The presidential media aide, however, appealed to Nigerians to exercise patience and understanding as the government is doing everything with their interest as priority. In defending the current government, Bwala said 26 states were bankrupt as it when President Tinubu came into power in May 2023, but things have gotten better now with the intervention of the president, and the states have more funds to pay salary and meet the needs of the people. While in Abuja, residents of Gwagwalada in Gwagwalada area of the Council Federal Capital Territory have expressed concerns over the activities of some suspected group of fraudsters prowling the streets of the town. Residents said the suspects, who often dressed in black suits like bankers, are mostly found around Radio House, Old and New Kutunku, and University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, persuading residents to register with them with any amount of money, would promise to double such amount for them in a few days. A cross-section of the residents who spoke on Saturday said they were not comfortable with the group and are mostly young men operating under a company name. You're currently listening to the World News. We'll take a very short break. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. You're still listening to the World News at 12 and Voice of the People 90.3 FM. In more news report, Kudirat Kekere Ekun, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, has expressed concerns over persistent challenges in the judiciary, which includes corruption allegations, delays in justice delivery, and perceived bias despite ongoing efforts to address them. Speaking on Monday at the opening of the 2025 hybrid pressure course for judges of superior courts of record in Abuja, Kekere Ekun acknowledged that these issues continues to undermine public confidence in the judicial system. She said, and I quote, "In spite of our collective efforts, challenges persist. Allegations of corruption, delays in the dispensation of justice, and perceptions of bias or inefficiency remain issues of concern." She noted that these challenges weaken the judiciary's authority and create a disconnect between the courts and the society, they said. Kekere Ekun highlighted that the judiciary's role as the guardian of justice and the final arbiter in disputes is deeply tied to public trust. Without public confidence, the judiciary's moral authority is diminished and its ability to discharge its constitutional mandate is impaired. She emphasized that public trust is not automatic but must be earned and safeguarded through judicial integrity, professionalism, transparency, and an unwavering commitment to justice. I currently have with me right here in the studio Mr. Peter Anosike. Peter Anosike is a political, national social affairs commentator. Mr. Peter Anosike will actually help us divest some of these issues, basically on some of the stories read out on the World News at 12. Mr. Peter, good afternoon and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm okay.
I sincerely do apologize. I'm actually still under the weather, so sometimes when I'm asking you questions, I may want to cough or hiccup. All right, Mr. Peter Anosike, did you observe the court proceedings yesterday when Nnamdi Kanu was presented in the presence of Justice Binta Nyako?
Yes.
I would like you to actually take a listen to this because my next question is derived from what Justice Kekere Ekun just said. She said it synonymously with when Nnamdi Kanu appeared in court yesterday. A couple of persons may say that is it a coincidence that she's actually affirming to the fact that there are allegations of corruption, bias, and delay of justice within the Nigerian judicial court. And one of those examples is the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, a couple of persons had complained that Nnamdi Kanu's attitude yesterday did not speak of humility, and there's a possibility that he could deliberately be retained within the DSS custody because of how he spoke to Justice Binta Nyako yesterday. I want you to take a listen. In the course of this audio, you're also going to hear the voice of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Awomolo, who is a prosecuting counsel for the federal government, intermittently while he is speaking, and Nnamdi Kanu's rebuttal. So just take a listen to this.
He was office official. I asked him to recuse himself. Why did the chief judge insist I was right? He left my case.
Okay, listen. If anybody is not happy with the case, then you need to go and
No, I cannot. Because I have a court order. I have a court order. You have released yourself. I have a court order. Anybody who disagrees with this order of court, go to appeal court. That's what you tell me all the time. You are from this official. You cannot preside over this case number again. Not in this life. You cannot. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. A woman here cannot force this court to preside on my case. You cannot. Not today, not till forever. You are recused and you stand recused. Tell the chief judge, Nnamdi Kanu said, go on appeal. I recused him from my case. The state recused Justice Adema from my case. I did not insist Adema must hear my case. I never insisted. So why must you insist to hear my case? I don't want you in my case. I don't need you in my case. You are biased. You are biased. You cannot be in my case. A woman should do the right thing. A chairman of the board of directors possibility of resume propriety. Nowhere in the world such nonsense done. You cannot be hobnobbing with lawyers, hobnobbing with justices, and you're proceeding a case. It's shameful. Absolutely shameful. This is a court of law. This is a shrine to injustice. And I will not subject myself to it. You stand recused and you must take my case. You cannot buy me. This man is not paying attention. There is an order of recusal. I And he's a senior advocate, for goodness sake. There's an order of recusal. Is that not the rule of law? The law says if you disagree with this, you go and appeal. You are a grown-up man. Because of 300 million, you're behaving like a child. Go and appeal. Because of money. Because of money they're paying you from ATM surface, you are here standing and smoking evil. Because of money. A grown-up man like you say you have to want to behave like a man of honor. The rule of law says you go and appeal. His Lordship Peter, you will not try my case. Not on this planet Earth, I'm telling you that now. So stop wasting your time.
So that, as I said, the issue of the past that the defendant has indicated that he will not take a formal application. I apply that the Lordship was a safety day for hearing.
You are not well. You are not well. I'm telling you, this God Almighty not well. This is an order of God. An order of God says, Justice Binta Nyako is recused. An order of God. Order she made as an order. The same Chief Justice writing the stupid memo he's writing. I recused him. He was functus official. He sat on appeal. I took him to NJC. I recused him. Why did he not say I must sit on your case? Why in the case of his lordship is he insisting? He wants to embarrass her. He wants to embarrass your lordship by asking her to come and sit on this case. Is that what you're saying? There's an order of give it to him. He doesn't have it. Give him an order of court. It's an order of court. Give it to him. He doesn't have it. An order. Give him. He doesn't have it. It's an order of court.
I take your permission.
It's an order of court.
I take your permission to address you. But let me tell the defendant that in everything life, there's need for wisdom. And wisdom is very important in this matter.
And tell him lies.
It is not right for you to be insulting the teacher and insulting.
If you insult yourself, will insult you. If you have no respect for yourself, will insult you. Because people are telling the law, when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu, you turn the law upside down. The law says one thing. If the law says this paper is white, when I go to court, they say it's black. When I say it's black, they say it's white. Is that law? I'm asking you, a senior advocate of Nigeria, is that law? Is the memo from Chief Judge, is memo from Chief Judge sufficient to set aside a court order? The answer is no. Why do you want to change the law in my own case? His Lordship, Justice Binta Nyako, stand recused in my case. Cannot try me. Why don't you get it? Give me your delegate for trial so you can do your mathematics you always do. People without shame. I have here before me for the benefit of Chief Awomolo because it seems he doesn't know the law. So I will tell him, this is national judicial policy of this country. Please give them a copy each. National judicial policy of Nigeria. National judicial policy. I will tell you what it says. Because you don't know, I will tell you. Talking about memo from the Chief Judge of the High Court. Judicial policy of Nigeria. 1C. I'm reading. Go back.
Mr. Peter Anosike, that was Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as well as Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Awomolo, and the faint female voice you heard was Justice Binta Nyako in court yesterday. Now, a couple of us heard the aftermath, that is, most of the press conferences where Nnamdi Kanu was addressing the press after the court. This was while the court was in session. The first question I want to ask you is, Nigerians have reacted, some who are not in support of Nnamdi Kanu. They have asked that, is somebody supposed to be recording a live event in court? Is it not against the Constitution? Others have asked for the person who released this video to be traced and arrested. That's one question. The second question is this. Acting out, yelling out in court, being very rude, shouting or engaging in hysterics, the judge has the authority to hold that person in contempt. So the question is, if all of the things Nnamdi Kanu was vituperating in court yesterday was wrong, why was he not held in contempt? That's the second question. Then the third question, Mr. Peter Anosike, is this. At this point, how would you describe the case of Nnamdi Kanu? and the fact that his representatives seemed not to be able to speak. He was literally being the lawyer and also being the defendant. How do you react to this?
One, that to start with, an order of the court said that Binta Nyako is rescued from the case.
Okay.
If a woman or whatever is his name is not comfortable with that, what he should do is to appeal that order. That's the right thing to do. Appeal that there's already an order, and you are not comfortable. You go to a higher court to appeal for the order to be removed. So as we speak, that order has not been appealed, which means that judgment still stands.
Okay.
So Binta Nyako is not supposed to preside over that case. So on that ground, Nnamdi Kanu is 100% right.
All right. Okay.
Nnamdi Kanu is 100% right because that's an order of court that the woman has hands off that case. So based on that, Binta Nyako was wasting her time sitting there.
But she was not the one that brought herself back.
But she was forced to go there. She was forced to go there.
Exactly.
She has returned that case file to the CGN. And they say, no, go back there.
Okay.
So the woman is being frustrated by the Nigerian state.
So you think that the Nigerian state
The
is
woman-
mutilating this particular
The woman
process?
is being frustrated by the Nigerian state. That woman might have developed a high blood pressure because of it. Understand me? So the person that is mistreating her is not Nnamdi Kanu, it is the CGN.
But
because-
okay, go ahead.
Because she said, I'm no more interested in this case. I have hands up. And went and then and gave them back the case file. They say, no, go and continue.
All right.
Now,
that was-
no, wait.
Okay.
As a suspect, you have the right to say, I cannot obtain justice in this court. Therefore, I don't want to stand trial. It is legal.
All right.
I can say I don't want this man to try my case.
Okay.
I have that right under the law. It's part of my fundamental human right. So what Nnamdi Kanu was saying there, Nnamdi Kanu is 100% right.
Okay.
Then on his outbursting in the
Yes.
court, it has nothing to do with the court proceedings.
It has nothing to
It
do
has
with
not. It's just like people fighting outside the court.
that? Okay.
It has nothing to do. The lawyers have submitted their cases.
Okay.
Understand me? So even if somebody has died in the court yesterday, it can in no way add or minus from the case.
Are you sure? Because a couple of
Excuse me.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Even
All
if somebody has died in the court yesterday, it will not add or minus from that case.
All right. Let me
Understand me? Because Nnamdi Kanu is not being led on evidence. He was not speaking under oath.
He was
So-
speaking under oath.
He was just speaking under oath.
Okay.
This is just a statement that he was making. One, they said justice denied. Justice delayed is justice denied.
Yes.
When you are denying me justice, you not expect me to be a gentleman. Understand me? When you are denying me justice, you will not expect me to be a gentleman. So Nnamdi Kanu behaved the way he's supposed to behave.
Okay.
Understand me?
Okay.
He behaved the way he is supposed to behave because his justice is being denied from him. So you don't expect him that to fold hand and be singing hallelujah, praise the Lord. Understand me? So he behaved the way he is supposed to behave. And if I'm there, I will have done the same thing.
All right. Now, yesterday, when the whole situation happened and the whole videos came out in court, Bashir Ahmed, a former aide to former
That's a shoe
president,
shiner.
Big-
He's a jobless man.
Okay, so
He's a jobless man.
He said that.
What is current job? He is a farmer. He's a farmer.
Yes, he's a
So
former.
he's looking for what to eat. I don't reckon with such people.
Okay. Now, you say you don't reckon with him, but quite a lot of persons responded. Do you think that Nnamdi Kanu's outburst may actually affect his case? If at all, any form of
What he did
leniency-
yesterday will in no way will not minus or add to his case.
Okay.
Case has been submitted in court. Understand me? And the court passed judgment based on the evidence before it.
Okay.
and not from the opinion of people. What Nnamdi Kanu said yesterday was not a part of the evidence in the court. Understand me? So whoever will be stupid by saying because Nnamdi Kanu said that Nigerian government is corrupt, it's not part of the case. It is not what he was being charged for. So those that don't know what the law says should keep quiet.
Okay. All right, interesting. So you're speaking to Bashir Ahmed. He should keep quiet if he doesn't know what the law says. A couple of people say that the attitude yesterday, there's a potential that Nnamdi Kanu may actually be kept in DSS detention for so long. But the question is it fundamentally right or constitutionally right to adjourn a case indefinitely on an individual who is going through the process in court?
That's why people who doesn't understand cases should keep quiet. Indefiniteness simply mean what they call in law sine die.
Sine die, yes.
That indefinite may mean Monday.
Okay.
It can mean today, it can mean tomorrow, it can mean next year.
All right.
So when they say indefinite, it's people that don't understand it will feel that it is forever.
Forever. Okay.
It can even mean today is Tuesday. It can even mean on Wednesday or on Thursday.
All right.
So it's just a terminology that is used in law.
All right. Now,
But why Nnamdi Kanu behaved the way he behaved yesterday was because they are playing game with him. Understand me? They are playing game with him. You have a case before him, prosecute it diligently because they have nothing on him. They were tossing him up and down. He's not a tennis ball. He's a human being.
All right. There have been references to belly
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Okay, so let's take a listen to Omoyele Sowore because I think he had something to do. He had an appearance in court the same yesterday. Along with Nnamdi Kanu's legal team, he actually spoke to the press, in support of Nnamdi Kanu. And he made a couple of statements saying the Nigerian government is wasting their resources on Nnamdi Kanu instead of them to use that resources on other issues, meaning that they should release him. Let's take a listen to Omoyele Sowore.
Release Nnamdi Kanu and stop wasting Nigeria's resources on a trial that cannot go anywhere. This trial has gone through all the courts of the land, except maybe I think it went to a magistrate court at the point when they first started this charade.
Yes.
First and foremost, I like to let Nigerians know that even though I came earlier today for even a personal court matter, and I'd hope to attend, the DSS who are taking over these courtrooms did not allow me into the premises. But I've just been briefed by the ebullient lawyers representing Nnamdi Kanu that he totally and thoroughly exposed the Nigerian judiciary today, the underbelly of the judiciary. And we didn't need to get to this point. We had warned from the beginning when this trial started, this farcical trial, that you cannot try a case that is not triable in a court of law. People who are aspiring for freedom, which is recognized worldwide, is recognized by laws and treaties, is even recognized, I think, by their 1999 constitution, that every Nigerian have a right to associate with whomever they want and express themselves freely. And these are cases that has become a bone in the neck of Nigeria because Nigeria refused to purge itself of a war that was needless in 1967 and that ended in which they themselves declared that there were no victors, no vanquished, or no victor, no vanquished. But the victors continue to vanquish their victims. So I am here to say once again that if there's anybody who has sense in the government, today is the final day to sit down and release Nnamdi Kanu and stop wasting Nigeria's resources on a trial that cannot go anywhere. This trial has gone through all the courts of the land, except maybe I think it went to a magistrate court at the point when they first started this charade.
Yes. So what is the implication of this?
The court cannot adjourn a case in which it has no jurisdiction. The judge has already made an order, a consequential order, that she has recused herself from this trial the last time. So you cannot assume jurisdiction over a case from which you have disqualified yourself. That is a very simple legal maxim. So, and she also cannot be a judge in her own case or court. She has been indicted by Nnamdi Kanu and the lawyers that she's not fit to be a judge in this case. So adjourning the case is irrelevant. But I guess maybe she adjourned the case indefinitely to allow reason or oxygen to bring it to the brain of the people who are running Nigeria. Hopefully, they will, within that period of time, resolve this matter. I won't even say in the interest of justice, it's in their own interest. Yes, so because the Supreme Court and other courts have resolved the matter in the interest of what is limited justice in Nigeria. Yes.
All right, Mr. Peter Nosike, there is a quote that when exposing a crime is treated as committing a crime, you are being rude by criminals. What's the difference between the advocacy or the reaction attitude to a couple of cases in this country? What's the difference between Omoyele Showore's attitude to issues like this and that of Nnamdi Kanu when you talk about radicalism?
Well, geography comes into this.
Okay.
Geography comes into this.
Explain, please.
Omoyele Showore is from the southwest. Nnamdi Kanu is from the southeast. The people that Nigeria state loves to hate. Understand me? So geography comes into this. Because what Nnamdi Kanu said, Sheikh Gumi has said far worse. Understand me? And what they are trying, Nnamdi Kanu, self-determination is in the UN Charter, which Nigeria is a signatory. Understand me? Which our 1999 Constitution endorsed. So the only reason why Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention is because of geography. That is the only reason. And not that he committed any offense. I have said it. Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to be the one that is suing federal government on this issue. Because he was, imagine a kidnapper suing somebody that he kidnapped. That's what is happening in this case.
You know that Nnamdi Kanu is not totally innocent. I'm sure you've heard of Nnamdi Kanu's wild broadcast. There was one of the broadcasts where he actually said that there were guns in Edo State.
I didn't hear it.
Well, it's all over. You can go on social media.
You are not in my brain.
Wait, Mr.
I did not hear you.
What I'm saying is that
we are talking about what happened yesterday.
I know.
Let us focus on what happened yesterday.
What we're talking about the fact that what is causing his consistent stay or remaining in the court.
Are you a DSS officer?
No, I am not a DSS officer. I am saying that a lot of critics have
Are you
actually,
speaking for
Mr. Anosike,
Buhari?
Will you kindly listen? A lot
Did you hear
critics,
what Showore said?
Wait, a lot of critics have looked into this matter. We need to divest this issue from both sides. The reason why I'm saying so is that it's not like he's completely innocent from the vituperations and statements.
Mr. Nyaku cannot find him guilty.
No,
you are not finding
Mr.
him
Anosike, I'm not finding him guilty.
Why you say that he's not totally innocent?
What I'm saying
are
is
you a
this.
judge?
Can you let me land?
Are you a judge?
Mr. Anosike, let me land. Why I'm making this statement is this. Because of the statements he had made in the past, which is what led him to remain in the DSS custody.
So you know.
Listen, Mr. Anosike, let me land. Critics believe that at this point in time, Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't fall within the prey of acting erratic or acting in an agitated form that may delay
when your freedom
his case.
is unnecessarily being denied. I become a gentleman.
Not necessarily a gentleman, but calling out the judge in her presence, abusing her in court, is unconstitutional.
What you said yesterday will not add or minus anything.
When you say that the case of Omoyele Showore is because of geographical location, that is, you're speaking of tribe, possibly because Omoyele Showore is Yoruba, and that is why. Are you sure that is the case? Omoyele Showore has actually been bold and brazen and being radical in a lot of things that is going on with this government. But do you think it's about disposition and the manner with which he says it, which have been quite a couple of people may say is not as in fierce or insulting or derogatory as how Nnamdi Kanu acted yesterday?
So we are now differentiating words and how it was said. Is that?
Well, these are critics. These are basically what critics are saying. I've been following the conversation on social media and how a lot of Nigerians are reacting to it.
The critics that they are giving 20,000 monthly.
Mr. Anosike, you cannot decipher. You cannot actually stipulate if that is the truth. But regardless of the whole entire scenario, Justice Kekere has talked about corruption within the Nigerian judicial system, bias, delay in court proceedings, like you saw what transpired in Rivers. There's an explanation for that, anyways. Now, for her to have come out yesterday to disclose that, what more are they doing to sanitize the system? That's one. Two, is she just saying this because of what transpired in court yesterday? That's two. Number three, what is the resolution to create the trusts and transparency within the NJC in deciding cases and adjudicating cases where one will not call out political influence in how some of these cases are concluded?
One, there should be an overhaul of the Nigeria judicial system.
Okay.
Because right now, people don't have any confidence in the courts.
Okay.
People don't have confidence in the court anymore.
All right.
Everybody is viewing our judicial system as where the highest bidder wins.
Okay.
A court of cash and carry. Judges in Nigeria, people are now equating them with touts on the God's road. Because of what? Corruption. Understand? So we need a complete overhaul of the Nigeria judicial system. We need a change of mindset. Understand? Then they have to also purge themselves of prejudice by hating only a section of the people, which are the Igbos.
Hating a section of the people. Mr. Anosike, you cannot generalize, make a generalistic statement like this on national radio. We have to be careful with the utterances.
I'm talking of a mind shift in anything Nigeria.
Like I said,
let us be an egalitarian society.
Okay.
Live
fine,
and let live.
You cannot
treat everybody the same way.
Okay, but
there cannot be a north for the north, north for the southwest, and then different north for the southeast.
Okay.
It is very, very wrong.
All right, very good. In that particular regard, very good. But let's not generalize issues. Now, the program organized yesterday was a part of the NJI's Continuous Professional Development Initiatives for Judicial Officers. The question is, no matter how many programs that are conducted, what is the first step to ensure that we no longer continue to experience these inadequacies in how the justice system goes? Because if we say that justice is blind, meaning that it doesn't have any favoritism.
The two eyes are very, very open.
Mr. Anosike, please, let me land with my question. If we say justice is blind in how cases are being adjudicated, for example, how do you think, with what she has said, will set the terrain for other cases and precisely the 2027 elections? Why I'm asking that is, most of the elections in this country, aside from the one of 2015, has always landed in the court. And somehow, whoever it is INEC declares as the winner automatically is confirmed as a winner from the Supreme Court. So if the judge or the Chief Justice of Nigeria is literally affirming the corruption, the bias, and the delays in the court, what is the next step for her to institute so that 2027 will not go the way it went in 2023?
Mind you, in 2023 presidential election, only 29% of the total population voted.
Okay.
But in 2027, we are not going to record up to 20% turnout.
All right.
Reason, it's not going to be because of INEC, but because of the judiciary.
Okay.
Because people have lost confidence in the Nigeria judicial system. Even when INEC mess up your election, you are not sure of getting justice in the court.
All right.
So why must you go there to vote in the first instance?
Okay.
So that's why I say, and our problem is not training NJI, NJE. Our problem is mind shift.
Mind shift.
That's the biggest problem that we have. Human factor is the problem that is killing this country. Human factor, not papers. We have enough white papers that even last for 1,000 years.
Okay.
Our problem is human beings, corrupt minds, corrupt brains.
Interesting.
So without a mind shift, Nigeria can never, I'm using that word, never, can never get it right. We'll still be running around in a circle.
Okay. So now let's look at Hudu Yunusa Ari. This is for INEC, because when we're also berating the judicial system, the institution that is responsible for conducting elections, that represents the voice of the people, if there is no sanctity within that institution, will continue to experience manipulation and all whatnot. Now, Hudu Yunusa Ari had come out to tell us last week after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sacked the Resident Electoral Commissioner in Sokoto and the Resident Electoral Commissioner in Abia State during the 2023 elections. Hudu Yunusa Ari came out to say that he was forced and compelled to declare Ahmadu Fintiri as the winner of the controversial 2023 governorship election. Meanwhile, he possessed evidence that Binani was the winner. That's one. Hudu Yunusa Ari also declared that the ICT head in INEC, whose name is Bala Aji, compromising the election, alleged that Aji handed over 20,000 sensitive election documents to Governor Fintiri. He claimed that the documents were found in a private house linked to the governor, where top government officials were allegedly manipulating them. Yunusa Ari alleged that all the distributed Beavers machines had been, they had also bribed INEC staff with foreign currency on election day. Meanwhile, he says it's a blatant abuse of office. But after making all these expositions, INEC has reacted and told him to go to the court. He says, they say, go to the court and defend your case if you have all this evidence. Meanwhile, Hudu Yunusa Ari said he sent all of those documents to INEC headquarters, including Mahmoud Yakub, who was aware of it, but they all swept it under the carpet. So what is the point of INEC's response now?
For me, to start with, has this man any power to declare governorship election result? Let us start from there. Has he any power as a rec? Has he any power to declare governorship election result?
When the results were still in collision.
Understand?
No.
The answer is no. So he is talking from, that makes him number one, a criminal. Because he did what is wrong. Okay. Results and votes were still being counted. Right. And he went and declared a result. What was his interest? That's the question. We will judge both the messenger and the message. And if the messenger is not credible, I doubt if his message will be credible.
Hudu Yunusa Ari said he was pressured to do what he did.
To declare who?
To declare Binani the winner of the governorship election.
Who declared him?
Hudu Yunusa Ari said he was pressured to declare Binani as winner of the Adamawa state elections.
Who pressured him?
He was alleging that some political stalwarts within the current political party in charge at the time, referring to the PDP,
pressured him to declare APC as a winner.
No, they threatened him. While he had the evidence to prove that Binani won the elections, that these two political stalwarts, some certain persons within the echelon of government at the time, they threatened him to actually make sure that he does not announce Binani, but announce, what's his name, Ahmadu Fintiri. But the issue now is the fact that he's claiming that he's on the right by announcing Binani as the winner, and that he has a result to prove that.
Why votes were still being counted?
Yes.
Is that right?
He said he had a result. He said he has evidence with him. He said so.
But vote counting has not been ended,
completed. Yes.
Which made it wrong. Which made it wrong. Understand me? You cannot say that a match is over. Why if the match is still going on? Understand me? Okay. So he is corrupt. He is complicit.
All right. Do you think the court will do anything about this? Because I found it surprising when INEC just suspended him and nothing was done.
Fintri has already won in the Supreme Court.
So that is why nothing else should have been done.
Fintri has already won.
So if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had not asked that he be sacked, he would have just remained suspended and collected emoluments.
He was an agent of APC. He was working for the APC.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying now that that's the reason why they were sacked without any punitive measures. Ideally, weren't they meant to be punished?
No. He will go. He has a case in court, okay, which has not ended.
Yes, it hasn't.
Yes, that case has not been dismissed. Okay, he should be going that to court, and I pray that he is jailed.
Okay, with what Justice Kekere just said about delays in court, about bias and corruption, is there a possibility that since he was working, according to you, for the APC, that they would deliberately delay that case for as long as possible while he's living his life at large? Is it possible that that's what will happen here?
Well, according to Adams or Sure Monday, it is possible.
according to Adam Soshomole.
Yes, work for APC and all your sins are forgiven.
Mr. Peter Anosike. All right, Mr. Peter Anosike, thank you so much. We've actually run out of time. I would have loved to ask you more questions, basically on Daniel Bwala. He arrived on a Monitor television program this morning and he talked about the fact that this administration is doing better than when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came on board. Would you agree with that?
But Buhari said that in his administration, everything worked well.
Wow.
Economy was superb. Security was superb. So Tinubu is the problem.
Kekere,
Now,
Daniel Bwala is actually discounting that when he was asked as to one who actually opposed this current government, one who spoke against this current government, why is he working with the current government, a government that you have shown so much despise to? So he claimed
he
that
said even if you give Tinubu 1,000 years, nothing will change.
all of this was relayed to him while he was being asked.
But it's because of stomach infrastructure.
He refused to agree to that.
It's because
he
of
literally
stomach
said that when he
infrastructure.
was able to speak with the president at some point, when the president explained some certain things to him, he decided that there was a strong belief that this government will work. So now he's been given an appointment and he's speaking on behalf of this administration. The question is, with the dynamics that you have seen and the statement he made as to when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came and what the economy was then and what the economy is now, he's saying that some of the policies are already working out. You're an economic analyst, you're an economic strategist. Are they working out?
I do my analysis not from air-conditioned office, but on the street. On the street. What is the quality of life of the people on the street? Are they faring better? Okay. What's the cost of transport? How much is price of petroleum per liter? Okay. What is the dedica of rice at Oyimbu? This is how I know whether the government is doing well or not. Okay. And not what IMF said.
All right. Okay. Mr. Peter Anosike, thank you very much for taking your time to explain some of these issues. I sincerely do appreciate your input on the World News at 12.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, and now to wrap up here again, other top stories ahead that Tinubu's government begins appointment process for new Accountant General permanent secretaries. INEC advises suspended Adamawa Rek Kudu Yunusa Ari to go to court and prove his innocence. APC dismisses Obasanjo Atiku meeting as Peter Obi NNPP welcome alliance. And obviously, Daniel Bwala speaks on Nigerian suffering, saying this government is doing something about it. That's a wrap on the World News at 12. My name is Esther Machuku. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.